Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel and welcome to part 2 of my look at the Chanel Radiant nail polishes, the 6 radiant or metallic versions of existing Chanel nail colours that Chanel have released as part of their summer collection. I've got all 6 and I already looked at 3 of them, doing some comparisons with other polishes in my very extensive nail polish collection. So I wanted to finish off today with the other 3 colours. So starting with this one here, this is Radiant Ballerina. And this is the one that has surprised me the most actually, because it's the one I almost didn't buy, and it was really only because I do collect and I thought it was a shame, you know, just to get the 5 out of 6, and I definitely wanted the other 5 shades, but I just thought this looked, you know, a very ordinary neutral. I'm not that fond of the original Ballerina, which we have here, although it is pretty well used. It's a serviceable nude, and I do wear nude particularly for work. There you can see the two together. They don't look that similar in the bottle, insofar as all nudes look a bit similar, but you can see the original Ballerina looks very much more of a creamy white. This one's quite old, so it's quite a liquid formula now, and the top one looks a much more pink white, but you can see when I tip it to the light, the micro shimmer, which is kind of giving it a gold hue. And actually, when I wore this the other week, I posted a photograph on Instagram. It wasn't brilliant, but I really enjoyed the colour. I thought it looked very, very pretty, very feminine, and the sort of glow from the micro shimmer was very obvious. I don't know if I'm going to be able to reproduce that on the nail wheel. So there's one colour. So I think you're seeing the shimmer there. It is actually very obvious, and it's not glittery, so it's not giving that horrible granular effect. But it looks very pretty. Makes it a much warmer colour than it looks in the bottle. We'll have another coat in a minute. But that definitely, to me, adds something to the original Ballerina, which is just, you know, a very milky neutral. So there's the original, and you can see that the tone isn't that different, but there's no sheen on it, so it just goes on very much as a neutral cream. Definitely needs 2 or even 3 coats. When I wore Radiant Ballerina, it reminded me very much on the nail of this one, which is Pearl Drop, which doesn't look anything like it in the bottle. Much creamier, but it has got this kind of gold glow. So on the nail, where you see that quite a lot, it definitely has a similarity. You can see definitely a bit creamier, but that shifting gold tone makes them look quite similar on the nail, I think. Actually, Pearl Drop is quite a nice formula, and it's a few years old now. I'm going to say 2011, 2012. Somebody reminded me when I posted on Instagram that it was the same release as Black Pearl, which is one of my all-time favourites. I have several backups because it's such a beautiful, very wintry colour. I'm not wearing it at this time of year, very vampy colour. The other one that I pulled out with more of a micro glitter than a metallic is Frisson. Much rosier, browner pink really in the bottle, but looked a bit similar in the bottle. I don't know if I'm even going to be able to get the top off on this one to show you. I can't even get the top off. We may try again later, but I want to move on to the other colours. But before I do, let me just give another quick coat of Radiant Ballerina so that you're getting the full glory, as it were. If you're still thinking about buying it, you could manage 3 coats, but you can see it becomes much more opaque. It's really, really pretty neutral, especially for summer. So I've actually worn it twice, and I do like it a lot, surprisingly, since I nearly didn't buy it. There we go. One that I thought I was going to like, and I do like, I think it's a beautiful summer colour. Here's Radiant Verde, which is a version of last year's Verde Pastello, which I thought was going to be a sellout. It reminded me so much of Nouvelle Vogue and Jade. It's not the same as either. Look at the state of my cuticles. Sorry about that. But it wasn't a sellout. I think you can still get it on the website, actually. But you might prefer the Radiant version of it. It's very, very pretty. I've worn this. It's a good formula. I got about 6 or 7 days out of it before it chipped, which is more than you can say for what I'm wearing now. Applies beautifully. There you go. So pretty. So summery, real aqua colour. Let's pop the original on next to it. So this is Verde Pastello. If you had that last year, I hope I'm going to be able to get this top off. Yeah. Ooh, it's a bit gungy. Need to clean out this one. I wore it a lot last year. It's thickened up slightly. So this needs a bit of thinner in, actually. I think I haven't screwed the top on tight enough. There you go. It looks more green, doesn't it, than the Radiant version. To me it does. I'm always quite bad at distinguishing between green and blue in these turquoise aqua shades. But I really liked, look what I've done there. Not done the top up properly, which has caused problems. I need to clean that off later. I pulled out Nouvelle Vogue. This is one of my all-time favourites. Again, quite an old one, so I'm just giving it a bit of a shake-up. Quite similar. I haven't worn this for a while. I have backups of Nouvelle Vogue, because it is there in the all-time favourites. But I think you can see it's a slightly different formula. It's slightly lighter, certainly in one colour. Obviously hasn't got the shimmer, but it's very, very similar to Radiant Verde. It's a beautiful, beautiful summer colour. I think I'm going to wear this on my nails very soon. Nouvelle Vogue, one of the all-time Chanel greats in my view. So number 3, or rather number 3 in what I'm showing you today, number 6 in the collection, Radiant Blue. So beautiful royal blue, I would say, verging on French blue, I think. The most wintry of the shades that we've got. I have worn it. It's a slightly watery consistency, as I think you're seeing there. Going to have to do 2 coats to get the full picture of this one. It is nice though, and it did last well. Again, I'm not sure which shade this is actually based on, because it's just called Radiant Blue, and they have so many blues. I thought in shade, although obviously no shimmer, it was most similar to Blue Rebel. There you can see the two side by side, but also quite similar to Magic. It's looking a bit darker blue. Because of the metallic, when it's worn, it reminds me of Belle Auguste. I actually prefer Belle Auguste. This is from a few years ago, and it's a real, almost foiled metallic. Beautiful shade if you like blues, especially in the winter. Definitely a true vivid blue with the metallic on. Need 2 coats of that, I think, to show to its advantage. Let's just have a look at Blue Rebel to see if I'm right about the tone. Of course, this one is a pure cream. I suspect it may be a bit more grey blue than Radiant Blue. It's a beautiful colour, I think, a beautiful neutral, if a blue nail polish can ever be described as neutral. There you go. next to each other. I think the tone's very, very similar, and you can see Bella Goose is much more kind of pinky purpley. Let's just try a couple of extra coats. First of all, of Radiant, so that you get a proper picture of what it looks like on the nail. And there you go, very much bunging it on. So you can definitely see in some lights the shimmer, which is almost silvery gold on the nail. Just makes it look very, very shiny. It's a really nice colour. It's not my favourite, but I do like it a lot. Let's just give another coat of Bella Goose, because I want to remind you what a beautiful shade this one is for you, those of you who were lucky enough to get it. If you like true blue metallics, that's beautiful, isn't it? So there we go. I really, really like this collection. They're very nice formulas. They wear well. I've generally got about 5, 6, 7 days out of them, whether I've applied myself or I've had applied professionally at the manicurists. When I have it done by a manicurist, usually my manicure lasts at least a couple of days longer than when I do it myself. I think they do the undercoats a bit better, and that's the reason why. Definitely better than Eastern Light, which I applied, no, actually this was applied by a manicurist only 3 days ago, and you can see the chipping here. I have been doing a fair bit of manual work, which doesn't help. They just look awful, don't they? So that's coming off straight after this, so that I can apply maybe some Nouvelle Vogue to cheer myself up as I'm working on this beautiful summer day. So that's Chanel's summer release. Let me know if you bought any of these. I know several of you did. I hope I'm not encouraging you to do bad things by buying them all, but honestly, this is a beautiful release, and I think many of the colours, they're not particularly seasonal. You'll be able to wear them year round, really. So until next time, bye for now.